Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, dear students? I hope everyone is fine and be healthy. Today we are going to study the topic of 11th class, that is blood. In the previous lesson we have studied the types of blood cells. Today we are going to study the blood cells of leucocytes. It is the second type of blood cells. First we studied the first type, that was RBC or erythrocyte. Today we are going to study the leucocytes or WBC, white blood cells. What are they? Leucocytes, we can say white blood cells, also known as leukocytes. Leuco means white, cyte means cells, white cells of the blood. If we look, they are larger than RBC in the size. RBC, red blood cells or erythrocytes. So they are larger than RBC or erythrocytes. They have a nucleus. So we can say that they are eukaryotic cells. In the erythrocytes, we have studied that erythrocytes are the prokaryotic cells. Erythrocytes don't have a real nucleus, so RBCs are prokaryotic. But leukocytes have a nucleus. We can say that they are the eukaryotic cells. WBC or leukocytes are the cells of immune system, defending the body against both disease and foreign materials. It is the function of the leukocytes. So we can say that WBCs are the cell of our immune system. Immune system is the system which can fight against some disease and infections or microbes. So WBCs are the cells of immune system. They are defending the body against the both disease and foreign materials. Foreign materials can be viruses, bacteria, or other substances. Number of leukocytes in the blood of a healthy person is approximately 6,000 millimeter cube. If we take a cube and this cube, the size of this cube can be 1 millimeter cube. In this 1 millimeter cube, if we look, a healthy person, the person which doesn't have any type of disease, in that case this person is having the WBC in 1 millimeter cube approximately 6,000 of the leukocyte cells in this cube we can see. But in the state of a disease, if a person become illness, in that case this amount of the WBC is increasing. It is going to approximately 30 to 18 or 20 thousands of the leukocytes or WBC. Two types of leukocytes we have in our blood. The first one is granulocytes and the second type or second one is agranulocytes. There are some differences between granulocytes and agranulocytes. What are they? What is the differences between these two white blood cells? The first difference between them in the size. The size of these two types of leukocyte are different. And also the second difference between them in the shape of the nucleus. Some of them have large nucleuses or nuclei, and other types of the white blood cells which are agranulocytes, they have small size of nucleus. And the third difference between them in granules. Granules are small structures, spherical structures in the cytoplasm. These structures are called granules, like grain. So granules found in their cytoplasm. Some of the white blood cells or granulocytes don't contain the granules, but other types contain granules. or some type of the white blood cell contain the large amount of granules, but other of the white blood cells contain small amount of the granules. So these are the differences between the types of the leukocyte. Those are granulocytes and agranulocytes. Now we are coming to discuss first the granulocyte, types of leukocyte. The first type of the leukocyte is granulocytes. Now we are going to discuss the granulocytes. What are the granulocytes? Granulocytes are formed in the red bone marrow. The blood cells are formed or made in our bone marrow. Which type of bone? Long bones of the skeletal system. So granulocytes also form in the bone marrow. They have a nuclei, or they have nuclei. Nuclei is the plural form of nucleus, or we can say nucleuses. So they have nuclei and granules. Granules means small, round or spherical organelles in the cytoplasm, or the cytoplasm of the WBC or granulocytes. So we can see there some granules within their cytoplasm. What are the granules? The granules are known as pre-oxidase enzyme carrying lysosome. Lysosome are the cell organelles. Now the granules are known as pre-oxidase enzyme carrying lysosome. Granules are the lysosomes and they are known as pre-oxidase enzyme carrying lysosome. They carry these enzymes. Which type of enzymes? Pre-oxidase enzyme. So the function of the granules is carrying of pre-oxidase enzyme. These granules have the structure like lysosome, and these lysosome are spherical shape or granules. These granules are present in the cytoplasm of granulocyte. Because of these granules, they are named as granulocytes. So granulocytes are found within the cytoplasm or in their cytoplasm. Within means inside the cytoplasm we can see. Two types of granulocytes we have. It is the classification of granulocyte. Leukocytes, two types, granulocyte and agranulocyte. Now we are discussing the granulocytes, and granulocytes have its own two types. The first one neutrophils and the second one is eosinophils. I'm sorry, three types. The granulocytes are divided into three types. First one neutrophils, second one eosinophils, and the third one is the basophils. Now we are coming to discuss the first one, neutrophils. What are the neutrophils? If we look, from 60 to 70% of the white blood cell is consist of neutrophils. 60 to 70. If we give 100% to all WBC or all leukocytes, we can get from 60 to 70% neutrophils. Neutrophils are a type of granulocytes. So 60 to 70% of WBC are consist of neutrophils. What is their function? To digest non-functional or worn out and bacterial cell by means of phagocytosis. It is the function of neutrophils. They can digest. Digest means to break down. And non-functional, the cells which are destroyed in our body and they don't have any type of function. So these cells are non-functional cells. Now these non-functional cells must be destroyed or digested in our body. Who can digest them? Neutrophils. They are useless. We cannot get any benefit from these non-functional cells in our body. So in that case, the neutrophils can digest them. The second function, worn out tissues. There are some tissues or some cells which are worn out. They must be cleaned by neutrophils. And we have some foreign cells or substances in our body. These are bacterial cells. Bacterial Bacteria are pathogens. They cause disease. So the bacterial cells also can be removed in our body by neutrophils. By which process? The process which is known as phagocytosis. What is the phagocytosis? Phagocytosis is the process in which some cells are engulfed, or some particles are engulfed in our body by some specific immune cells like WBC. It is taken, the word phagocytosis is taken from the Greek language, or from the word Greek, which means phago. Phago means to eat. To eat. Cyte means cells. Osis means the state or the situation. The state or the situation in which a cell can eat some other materials. This process is known as phagocytosis. In our blood or in our body, there are some foreign pathogens or bacteria, viruses. Now they are antigens in our body. They must be removed from our body, must be destroyed. Now in that case, neutrophils are coming and eating them. This process is known as phagocytosis. So phagocytosis is the Greek word. Phago means to eat. Cyte means cell. Osis, the situation or the state. The state in which a cell can eat something. This is the first type of granulocyte. Now we are coming to the second type of granulocytes. These are eosinophils. Eosinophils from 1 to 4% of the WBC. It is consists of 1 to 4% of WBC. 60 to 70% is neutrophil. It is in large amount, the neutrophils. But eosinophils are in small amount, from 1 to 4% of the WBC is making eosinophils. Their phagocytotic activity is weaker than other leukocytes. They don't have the phagocytotic activity than other type of white blood cells. So we can say the phagocytotic activity is weaker than other type of WBCs or granulocyte. So we can say eosinophils have the weaker activity of phagocytotic than other leukocytes. Eosinophils are sensitive to allergens. They cannot phagocyte, but in some cases they can phagocyte. So we can say the phagocytotic activity is weaker. What is the main function of eosinophils? The main function of the eosinophils is that they are sensitive to allergens. What are allergens? Allergens are those materials in which somebody can make allergy. Now, if someone have allergy with some materials, in that case, this person is becoming sensitive with those allergens. Now, in the case of allergy, the eosinophils make some materials, and these chemical materials cause allergy in our body. So it is the function of the eosinophils. They cannot phagocyte, but they can a little bit. So the phagocytotic activity is weaker than other type of leukocyte of the eosinophils. So eosinophils are sensitive to allergens. What are allergens? We can see some people, someone are allergic with spray, some are allergic with pollution, someone's allergic with the air of the fan. Some people can be allergic with some foods. So these materials or allergens can be antigens for their body. Foreign substances they are. In that case, the eosinophils make some chemical materials. These chemical materials causes allergy. So this is the function of the eosinophils. The number of the eosinophils increases when an allergen is present. In that case, if there is some allergen in our environment, In that case, the number of eosinophils are increasing and causes allergens or allergy. So it is the second type of leukocytes. And the third type of leukocyte, what are the third type? They are the basophils. Third type of leukocytes are basophils. Basophils make half or 0.5% of the leukocytes. If we take 100% of leukocyte, 0.5% of the leukocytes are basophils. So 0.5% of leukocytes are basophils. A basophil cannot phagocytose particles but can secrete, what can they secrete? Some chemicals. These are named as heparin and histamine. Heparin and histamine are some chemicals which cause allergy. In that, if we have some allergens, in the case of allergen, basophils also can be activated and they secrete these some chemicals, and these chemicals are known as heparin and histamine. When we become allergic, in that case, the basophils secrete these materials. With these materials, our body can defend against some allergens. At that time, we are using some drugs like antihistaminic drugs. So antihistaminic drugs reduce the activation of heparin and histamine. So it is the function of basophils. It is the third type of leukocytes. So we have studied the first type of the WBC or leukocyte, that was granulocyte. In granulocyte, three types of cells or white blood cells we had. Those are neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. Now we are coming to the second type of WBC. They are agranulocyte. What does A mean? A mean there is no grains. It is the opposite meaning of the grain. If we see the letter A with a term, it is giving the opposite meaning of that term. If we remove this A, we can get granulocytes. With A, agranulocyte means there are no grains. No the spherical shaped organelles are in the cells of WBC. So agranulocyte. Agranulocyte are the cells of white blood cells which have the spherical shape. Two types of agranulocytes we have. The first one is the monocyte and the second one or second type is the lymphocytes. Now, first of all, we are coming to the first type, that is monocyte or monocytes. Again, if we take 100% of our body's white blood cells leukocyte percentage, we can get from 2 to 8% of the WBC is consist of monocytes. Largest type of WBC. If we look to their size, they are larger, more larger than other types of white blood cells or leukocytes. So they are largest type of WBC in the size. If we look to the nucleus of the monocytes, they have kidney-shaped nucleus and greater amount of cytoplasm. They are big in size. When they become bigger, so it is clear that there is too much cytoplasm inside the cells of the monocytes. So they have greater amount of the cytoplasm. Why? Because they are largest type of WBC. And if we look to the nucleus of the monocyte, the nucleus is resembles to the kidney shape. Like our kidneys, we have in our secretory system the two kidneys. So the nucleus of the monocyte looks like kidney shape. Another characteristic of the monocyte, highly phagocytosis or phagocytose. They have the activity of phagocytotic activity. They can eat the foreign bodies or foreign materials. They play important role in the control of long-term bacterial infections. They can play an important role against which type of pathogens? Bacterial pathogens. And another function, cleaning of injured tissues. When our tissues of the hand or other parts of the body become injured, in that case they are becoming uncleaned. They are becoming dirty. Now there are too much of pathogens or antigens or microbes from this part or the injured part in our body. Now these pathogen must be removed. Monocytes are coming to that injured part of our body and cleaning the injured tissue from the pathogen. It is another function of the monocytes or white blood cells. Now we are coming to the second type of agranulocytes. Second type of agranulocytes are lymphocytes. Lymphocytes make 20 to 35% of the WBC, or we can say the WBC of our body is consist of 20 to 35% of white blood cells, which are lymphocytes. And lymphocytes are the smallest types of leukocytes. They are very small in the size. Two types of lymphocyte we have in our blood. The first one is the B lymphocyte and the second one is the T lymphocyte. Why are they called B lymphocyte? Because they are made in the long bone marrow, in the bones. So bones are, we can say, bones written like this. Now the bone start with B. From the B we can give the letter B to these leukocytes. Why? Because they are made in the bones. And the second type of the lymphocytes are T lymphocyte. Why T lymphocyte? Because they are made in a gland which is located in our chest, and the name of that gland is thymus gland. From the thymus we can get the word T, thymus. Because of the thymus they are called T lymphocytes. They are made in the thymus gland, and the thymus gland, because of the thymus gland they are named as T lymphocytes. It was your today's lesson. If you have got any question, please ask in the WhatsApp group. Have a good time.